call on Deputy Eamon Scanlon, who has 4 minutes.
Thank you for asking, Corla. Minister, there is a serious issues with the new illness benefit system. I cannot be the only person being contacted weekly about this situation because it's going on for a number of months. The issue first came to the fore, at least in my office last August, with dozens of complaints from ill and vulnerable people genuinely upset by the disruption to their payment and suddenly no money coming to their account. A little bit here and none there, all without any warning from the department. Last month we learned of the 14-fold increase in complaints relating to illness benefit last year, and that's in 2018, accounting for 40% of all complaints made to the department. Hardly surprising when people were being left for weeks with no payment and being referred to the Community Welfare Service. Sick people or people in recovery were left without any income. Illness benefits were not answering phone calls or replying to messages. Staff in my office were unable to contact the department, and there are still issues in relation to that. On the 7th of January, I received email responses from Illness Benefit to representations made in mid-October. And Minister, that's 4 months later. And what we're dealing with here are vulnerable people, sick people, who are only looking for their own money back, quite honestly. A lady contacted my office who was on bed rest due to severe pregnancy complications and receiving illness benefit. She had €66 for 2 weeks and then nothing for the following 2 weeks. With no medical card, she had no money for vital medication for her unborn baby, and she also missed a mortgage payment. Another person undergoing chemotherapy with radiation to follow did not get any payment for 3 weeks, and the department sent letters to say their claim had been selected for review. This was their 4th review in a matter of months, and they had returned documentation multiple times. Obviously, an extremely distressed situation. That person said to me at the time, it's like they don't believe I'm sick, and this is a cancer sufferer. I want to raise one particular case, Minister, here today. It's one of the worst I've ever seen, and I think I need to be thorough in relation to this. And I plead your patience because the people out there who are suffering because of this have none left, quite honestly. I refer to an illness claim that started last September and is still an absolute mess, to say the least. I have here over a dozen letters received by the applicant from the 7th of November 2018 to the 9th of January 2019. Not one of them is correct. I have also a record of calls made by the applicant's spouse, calls and emails, 8 hours of calls over a 2-month period. Some of the calls lasted an hour and 20 minutes, an hour and 40 minutes. And they're accurate records. And also contact made from my own office. The local community welfare office was involved in the local branch office as well. I want to thank those people for their help. The claim started on the 19th September 2018. On the 7th of November, a letter issued to the applicant awarding them illness benefit from the 19th of September for €361. My office phoned straight away because this was incorrect, as the payment did not include the second child dependent child. A letter on the 14th of November sought for further information in this regard, which was forwarded. On the 15th of November, the claimant received their first payment to their bank account. This was €739.20. On the same day, they received a letter from the department awarding them a rate of €393. On the 27th of November, they got a payment of €485. On the 5th of December, they received 2 letters and awarding them a rate of €361 and the other of €345. It's on the same day. 2 days later, on the 7th of December, another letter, this time awarding them a rate of €198. This rate was reiterated in another letter the next week, on the 12th of December. On the 17th of December, the payment that issued was €870.85. On the 20th of December, there was a payment of €690.60. On the 4th of January, no payment. Then on the 7th of January, 2 letters were received from illness benefit, both missing what can only be the first page of correspondence. The second pages were there, the first pages weren't. All that was in the envelope was the back page. And I had the question being asked, if you're satisfied with this decision, please reply within 21 days. No question. On the 9th of January, this person's payment was €35.65. On the same day, the 9th of January, they received a letter awarding them €361.20. The next day, on the 10th of January, 2 payments to their bank account of €2.65 and the other for €192.15. On the 17th of January, a payment of 229. The 24th of January, a payment of 191. On the 4th of February, 427. And on the 7th of February, a payment of 195.33. This should have been 229.80. But on contacting Illness Benefit, my office was informed that 15% of the payment had been taken back by debt recovery. And that's the first the family knew about it, and they got no notice or letter whatsoever.
You'll have another 2 minutes
in relation to that. Okay, thanks. Thank you.
Minister.
First of all, thank Deputy Eamon Scanlon for raising this very important issue, and I want to commend your work in relation to highlighting the issues in relation to people with illness benefit. And I do appreciate your concern, and I know it's a genuine concern. But can I say at Ascancora, the Department informs me that currently people who are due a payment and whose certs and claims are in order are receiving their payment entitlement promptly, and departmental staff are processing over 9,000 transactions per day. So there's a lot of work going on in that section. In stating this, it is important to note that there are always individual cases, and the Deputy has highlighted them, where people's payments are legitimately stopped, paused or delayed for a variety of reasons, including the late submission of medical certs. As the Deputy will know, issues arose in relation to the scheme over recent months when my department transferred the administration of the illness benefit scheme from an old legacy payments IT system, which is approaching end of life, to its core business objectives IT platform in August 2018. Since then, the Department has worked hard to resolve these issues and ensure that claims are processed and paid promptly. I believe that we have made good progress in this regard, with payment levels maintained at the expected norm for the past number of months. Telephone helpline and call handling performance has also been addressed and is now back to normal levels, although customers may still sometimes experience delays due to call volumes. And I do find, and I do agree with Deputy Scanlon, that it's unacceptable if you have families dealing with phone calls for over 8 hours. That's not acceptable. Can I also confirm, though, that discussions with the GP representatives with respect of a move from a paper to e-certification have concluded successfully, and we expect e-certification to be introduced this year. This will significantly improve the services to the clients and also to the GPs. I wish to reassure the Deputy that the Department has had a long and positive partnership with the GPs over many years, and it is committed to maintaining good working relationships with our GP partners. Customers who experience urgent financial need as a result of possible delays to their illness benefit payments can apply, and this is very important, to the Department's Community Welfare Services to receive an interim payment. And they should contact their local intro centre in that regard. And the contact details for the illness benefit section are telephone 01 704 3300 or 1 1890 928 400. Or illness benefit at welfare.ie. But of course, the concerns you raise in relation to this particular case are very important, and I will follow up further on the individual case. But as far as I'm concerned, 8 hours of phone calls, it's not acceptable, and that's something we have to do about. But I must say, they're handling 9,000 transactions per day, and at times it is very, very busy. Thank you.
Deputy Scanlon has 2 minutes.
Sorry, thank you for your response, but you know there's this case, which is a very difficult case, and despite the fact that the person was overpaid, we or our office notified the department that this is the incorrect payment that this person is getting, and there was nothing done about that. Then they get a payment, a number of payments, very few of them correct, quite honestly, and then they get a payment with a deduction. A 15% deduction because they say there's €800 overpaid. And fair enough, that has to be paid. But at least the department should contact those people and ring them up and tell them there's this problem here, there's an overpayment, we have to deduct this money. I think that's very, very unfair. The least they could do is contact the people. Because we're talking about vulnerable people here, we're talking about sick people, people that are not able to work. They'd be working if they could work, but they're not able to work, unfortunately. And it's their own money they're getting back, quite honestly. And it's wrong that people should be treated like that, because, as I said, they're the most vulnerable. They're people that are normally working, and people cannot work because they're sick or they have a problem health-wise, and that's the only reason they're not working, and they would be working only for that. So, Minister, I would ask you, because there's not just this case, there are many, many cases, many families out there who are definitely finding it very difficult. And look, it's very, I don't want to blame staff or anything else like that. The system at the minute is not working, and somebody would need to take control of it and ensure that these vulnerable people are paid the money that they're entitled to because of their sickness. Thank you, Mr. Court.
Minister, there's 2 minutes to conclude.
Can I say, first of all, I do accept Deputy Eamon Scanlon's point in relation to the vulnerable people, and that is something that we have to resolve to do. But there were difficulties, and I totally accept the point that the new system, a number of difficulties arose, and these included people not receiving payments or receiving split or regular payments. Secondly, large numbers of queries which led to long delays in call answering, and up to 20% of those in receipt of illness benefit were impacted. However, we're now gradually getting back to normal payments. But you're right, Deputy, we need to ensure that we fix the problems. And what we're doing now at the moment to fix the problems is we've taken basically 3 steps. The additional staff to process the claims and answer customer queries. Secondly, we've developed some IT routines that can further automate the process of tasks to ensure their faster flow through to payments. And thirdly, review the design rules in the system to afford greater flexibility in processing the claims and certificates. In addition, the Department continues to engage with local profession regarding the implementation of the new process. If problems are fixed, why are some people, you might say, still not being paid or paid more or less than expected or still due to arrears? And there has been an increase in claims for illness benefit in January. And this trend reflects the annual increase at this time of year due to seasonal illnesses. You have delayed payments, you have the extra payments, and you have payments less than expected. In relation to delayed payments, overall payment levels of illness payments are now at their normal level. On the extra payments, delays in processing have meant that some customer claims which should be closed were open longer than should have been. And because we have not received what is known as the final medical cert, they have received an extra payment. This is also the case under the legacy system. In addition, the process of also certification in 2018, which ensured people got paid and also paid people who had not submitted a final cert result in some extra payments used. But I do take your point, and I will bring your concerns back to the Minister involved. Thank you.
Move on to